Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and greetings. How y'all doing today? This is your kid for more Hosea coming live on the wonderful Sabbath. Hope everybody's okay. But I come across this song, man, and it comes off corny at first, but you gotta listen to it, but add your own shit to it. I just got a little small download, and it's gonna be Serial Ephraim, because everybody talking about Judah, but nobody talks about Ephraim and Manasseh. Nobody want to get into the history of that war, the history of that part, on who was the first king of Israel, which was the seed of Joseph, was Ephraim and Manasseh. They had to share the kingdom of Israel, and Judah was not there. So Judah may not be the large tribe of Israel, but for right now, let's go check out the star that's in the roof of our car. Meaning, in your carcass, in your car body, where's the stars at? Are they on the top, or are they in your pocket?
Derek,
Check it out.
I'm here right now. Where's everybody else at? Look, I have a very important client coming here any minute, and that showroom floor needs to be ready.
Hey, it's a decent song, man.
Of course, Derek has to have the stars on the roof. That's the whole point. Look, we're talking about the Tangerine Tiger, okay? Freestyle Scientist. Come on, the Texas Tornado. Hardy McHardy, the Hologram Panda, the Neon Icon. Yes, Riff Raff. I know.
Yeah, they put it together.
I know you know Riff Raff. I love Riff Raff too. But look, he's showing up here, and I need that showroom floor ready right now. Double R's, stars on the roof. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
This is how Rolls Royces get niggas to buy their cars. Check. I got stars in my car. You can put those in the back of my car. If you said the very far, this is a Jaguar. I got stars in the back of my car. My car. Beat. It's the receipt I paid the price. I can't afford to pay the high. I can't afford to pay the price. I'm eating on the Jerry Rice. My diamonds feel like I'm turning head like poltergeist. I feel like bonus rice when I'm singing on the mic. I crack a sound like Wanda Sykes. I throw my chain vanilla ice. And when the night flight, shoot the star like Glenn Rice. She tried to treat me like her ex. She tried to treat me like who's next. I feel like Johnny Quest when I thought shoes across my neck. Treat me better when we get. I got bars in the roof of my car. I know there's a Jaguar. Look at my own lyrics though. I got bars. Hey, I got to give it to the producer of the beat. Whoever made this beat, man, and then put that to his voice, it's hot. Y'all gotta give it hands down. This is the 2023 Vanilla Ice nigga. This is the 2023 Vanilla Ice nigga. This is the new tribe of Judah and the new Jews and the new niggas, man. This is the new reparations and preparations. You will not be bought and sold no more. You'll be needed no more. He got the stars on the roof of his car. Got the R&R. Check him out, man. I'm telling you. Check out Vanilla Ice made twice. Stars on the roof of my car. You see the double this is no Lexus Jaguar. Until this is no Lexus Jaguar, nigga. Stars in the roof of my car. And see that stars on the roof of his car. My car. Tell them. First of all, who pays the bill? I might get closer than a pin. I can't let counterfeits get near.
like
boom,
Copper
boom.
I changed my name like
Clap.
David Blaine. I can't complain on private planes. I guess she had bad aim. Her body's covered in champagne.
Clap. Clap. Man, somebody write something to that shit, man, to that beat. And somebody by that beat. That beat hot. Play that beat, man. I got stars, I got stars in the roof of my car. Would you listen to the Let's just Jaguar. Roof of my car. My car. Check this out. Hey, look at this shit that catch y'all off guard. You gotta admit that caught you off guard when they dropped her in that piece. And then she got that voice. Fam. Bro. He told you he got stars in the roof of his car. And it ain't no Lexus Jaguar. Nah. Double R. Yeah. No, I'm not sure what they're doing. We're promoting it or whatever. We like the beat. We like the flow of the shit. And he ain't say he gonna kill nobody. And nobody said they gonna sell pussy or nothing. They just saying, hey, I got stars on the roof of my car. Let me tell you about it. Let's see what she busting out. Get it? Get it? She got that voice, man. Close your eyes, man, to that. Stars in the ceiling while we riding in the coupe. Double R, rich life, broke niggas out the loop. They broke that down at that old Shantae Roxanne shit. Got stars, I got stars. I got stars in the roof of my car. The sun looks a Jaguar. I got stars, I got stars. I got stars in the roof of my car. This ain't Lexus Jaguar. This ain't Lexus Jaguar. Jody High Roller, man, who dropped that on us, man. Big ups to the producers of that. Big ups to Riff Raff. Big ups to Mellow Racks. Any of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all new rappers, new producers, man. You better hit that sister up before Riff Raff show you something new to the motherfucking industry, niggas. Remember we told you first. This is your Kim Folk Jose Omar. Man's man and a woman's big homie. I am your homeboy. My mama told me to play the game and go home, boy. At the time, my girl said the same, play the game and go home, boy. The wizard said the same, play the game and go home, boy. So listen to what they said. I played the game, now I'm home, boy. Caught the fresh pair of sneaks, put them on my feet when I came home, boy. Fresh new watch, nice coat when I'm home, boy. Caught me some weed, got a drink with my homeboys. Now I'm feeling good cause I'm chill with my homeboys. Good day, homeboys and homegirls. You motherfuckers allowed to come home from out of town and from jail and from wars. You can come home. But you niggas ain't allowed home. Sucks to be you. Straight up. Sucks to be you. In fact, if you know a nigga that ain't allowed to be come home, sucks to be you. I don't know how you let your nigga get in that position. Anyway, which leads us to this big discussion here. Bang. In your face. You ever notice this? It's always mute in Christianity. In the tribe of Judah and all this black Jew shit. See, this is how you know who is a respecter of their father and mother. This is how you know who respects their father and their mother. This is how you know who respects their ancestors. This is how you know who respects those who laid the pavement before you. This is how you know who these motherfuckers have no respect for who motherfucker died so you can beat your dick in the wind. I don't highly recommend it. Me personally, I never had my own shit go out my mouth, but it gets messy, folks. The children was listening to that. If they got an imagination to get that, that ain't my fault. You planted the picture there. I just said some words. They would have figured it out when they got older, but not today, nigga. So that ain't my fault. So let's start us off like we always do. And to my Hebrew Muslim brothers and sisters, and my Afro-Asiatic brothers and sisters across the globe, the whole planet, not the world, the planet, the globe, the shit that you're standing on, niggas. As we invoke Mother Earth, Spirit Father, so we can have that divine wisdom. Because spring is coming, and New Year is coming, and those who is in tune with the spirit, earth, soul, thus creation, we all become one consciousness. So in the meantime, while we shift the shaft from the wheat, because they all look alike. Judah looks like Ephraim. Ephraim looks like Benjamin. Benjamin looks like that. Every nigga looks like every nigga. Period. Every white nigga looks like every white nigga. Some white niggas look like black niggas and then blame it on Hollywood. No. Some dogs look like their masters, literally. So you can imagine if humanity evolved being black or white, you're starting to all look a fuck alike. Everybody's gonna look alike. Pink, green, orange, yellow hair. You know, it's just what y'all do. Shopping. Y'all buy the same shit over and over again. Y'all do the same shit over and over and over and over. Same shit over and over and over again. And as soon as somebody don't do the same shit you do, you want to kill it. There's a word for that. It's in my head, but I can't remember that shit. Where you're scared of something that's different than you for the sake of maybe better, outdo you, or it might reveal that what you're doing ain't shit. So you must kill it before it exposes your weakness, before it exposes that everything that you worked hard for wasn't shit. And because you was a shiny piece of shit, you thought you was pure gold. Then they cut you open. You said, ain't shit there. This is some shit. This is a shitty situation. That's why toilet paper is so motherfucking in demand like oil. You ever wonder why toilet paper and oil seem like it's the same fucking price? Got to clean some shit up with it. Heavenly Father, we ask for your permission to talk to your children, guide us, and give us your divine wisdom, your divine knowledge. May the heavens, the earth, and the seven seas, everything around them, and even all of us may bow down before thee and confirm that you are the grand creator, the grand architect of all things seen, unseen, heard, and heard, felt, and then felt before. Without your will, there is no consciousness. There is no science or mathematics to explain nothing. And yet those are still tools in the somethingness. So, Father, we ask that you would make this nothing into something, and this something into nothing. But in between, maybe have some power according to your divine will. Help us to break the ignorance of self-grandiosity. Protect us from our enemies, protect us from your enemies, protect us from our ignorance, protect us from what we know and from what we don't know. And he'll probably before me and after me say, thank you. Say that. I just start tearing up for the simple fact that none of you pray before y'all make videos and shit and post. We come on to live feed people. I watch people sit here and mock each other's gods. And not one ask their own God for permission to open up their motherfucking mouth. Don't you find that kind of disloyal? I damn sure would. If I was a god, since every black man want to be a god and every woman want to be a goddess, there should be a lot of ass whooping going on around here. Nobody's asking permission to teach, speak, and nothing. Everybody's a fucking teacher all of a sudden. And then sit out cell phone, picture, video hitmen to take clips and shit of people's personal life when it has nothing to do with them life personal. I mean, to do with them personally. But the results they put publicly is what matters. That's why Malcolm got his ass spanked fucking with Elijah Muhammad's personal life. Fucking in his bedrooms and, you know, shit they do when Allah say, okay, go ahead and, you know, take your break. There's this place in the Bible that says, go live amongst them. Do what they do, but don't live how they live. That's why it says go with two people. Because if you go by yourself, yes, you will get sucked back in. Straight up. If the Most High is not with you, you will get sucked in. Straight up. Don't even fuck with it. Don't even play with it, man. Don't even play with it. If you're going to change, stay away from people, places, and things, period. Don't you fucking go back talking about, I'm going to go show a nigga I got brand new shoes, I got a nice chain now, and look at my car. Yeah, all right. That's why they just get robbed. Glory could be to the Most High, and I think, brother, you know, folks here in Pittsburgh, man, the job never robbed me. Being stole from and getting robbed is two different horses. I just want to fix that. Brothers and sisters steal from each other. Then they argue, punch each other in the face, and they're cool. But if you rob a nigga, somebody gotta die. You should have, that's the difference between stealing and being robbed. Because you're not going to rob me and then have me buy my shit back, or like, no. Where do they do that at? And we're not promoting any violence. We're getting to a point, you notice Syro-Ephraimite war. There's no Judah in that bitch. There's no Jesus nowhere around there to save shit. In fact, where's Judah at? Mr. I Save My Brother. Mr. I'm My Brother's Keeper. We're going to find this out. We're going to show y'all what the Most High knows. And how we know y'all niggas jump on the bandwagon. Black Hebrew Israelites. And I use the word Hebrew very, very loosely when I use that, mixing it with Hebrew Israelites and black Hebrew Israelites, black Hebrew Jews, and all, yeah, I mean, that genre, that stuff. So, you see at the corner, the kingdom of Judah refused to join their brother. Folks, come on, man. Hey, yo. Hey, Judah. I'm just going to ask you one question. Like God asked Cain, where's your brother? And what did your brother Cain say? Let's say it out loud. Let's say it out loud. Matter of fact, it's in the movie, New Jack City. And my brother's what? Apparently in 736 BC, Judah said, fuck that. And they come up with a 12-tribe chart. Nigga, you ain't even gonna help protect the other 10 tribes. What the hell? That's how they got defeated. You got your ass kicked. You became Judaism, Christian, all this extra shit to the west. And Israel and Ephraim became Islamists, Hindu, and some other shit. It's like an equal shit on both sides. And none of y'all are asking Most High to be y'all fly paper. You're my fly paper. That's why I'm stuck on you. Oh, this is recording. I'll be mad as hell if it's not. We find out. I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset. We find out. I better not have too much shit hooked up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I gotta find out. I'm still recording. Let's see. Nope. Something happened. Something's happened. Okay, that's not working. Hold up. Okay, we good. Alright, where are we good? I'll use my phone instead then. Alright, here we go. Alright. Okay, I need to see what y'all saying. Last time I did this, and the motherfucker cut off. Oh, I was sick. I was sick. I'm gonna give myself a couple of hearts. I ain't waiting on y'all. Not at all. Well, friends, y'all catch up on it. Matter of fact, I know some of y'all watching, y'all just don't want nobody to know y'all watching. But that's cool. The Syro-Ephraimite War took place in 8th century BC when Neo-Assyrian Empire was a great regional power. Tributary nations of Aram, Damascus. Now, what language did Ephraim speak? Aramaic, ancient Hebrew. He didn't speak Yiddish, German, modern Judaism. That's where you know the difference between the 2 tribes of Judah and the 10 tribes of Jacob. Of Joseph, meaning kingdom. Judah only had himself and his brother, Dan. Joseph's seed had the other brothers. Because we understand that it says Aram, Damascus. Let's put that up there. Aram. Aramaic. AIC. Where? Damascus. So in Damascus they spoke Aramaic. Where? In 8th century BC before Christ. So who changed the Aramaic Ephraimite to Judite. And you see Assyrian / Judite victory. So that says that Judah and Assyria helped kill his brother again. Help kill his brother again. The shit don't stop with Judah. And this has to be put out there. Called black on black crime. The nations know this. That's why they can master the black man killing each other. It's in you from Cain to this very day. And you hate God. So you kill your brother, you hate your God. So no, you don't deserve your quote-unquote black woman. That's why the white man said, that's our bitch. Yeah. That makes sense. How we know? Because the kingdom of Judah, ruled by King Ahaz, refused to join coalition. The Syrio-Ephraimite War took place in the 8th century BC when the Assyrian Empire was a great power, right? Tributary nations of Aram, Damascus, and the kingdom of Israel decided to break away. Right? So, Ephraim, Hosea, not Joshua. Hosea was the seed of Ephraim. So it was Joshua after this kingdom. Hosea, not Joshua. See, if you follow the bloodline, it'll go all the way to this war right here. Who was the what? Kingdom of Israel. And what happened? Judah decided to do what? He refused. He refused. So who? The Assyrians, right? The regional power. And what? Assyrian Judahite victory. Over who? Ephraim. Is not Judah working with the United States now? Called the Boule? The first house nigger? Look at the numbers. Judah's in the house with the white man, while Israel out lost in the field some motherfucking where. It's in our face every day, all day, man. Location. Kingdom of Israel. Where's that at? The kingdom of Judah. See that? I don't see Hosea in that. That's why Jesus is from Judah. Judah is mean as hell. Judah is a killer, man. He don't play. Judah is an OG gangster. We don't know what his mama taught him. He wasn't having no rivalry. He was about to kill the fuck out of Joseph, talking that I'ma serve you shit. You crazy. So every big nigga or little nigga with a gun or whatever, come on, I run this shit. He's a Judah. He's a Judah. Female too. Judah. The motherfuckers is gangsters, man. That's why the Most High let them go over to the beast. So them straight to the beast first. Where's that? To the west. He saturated. All kingdom of Judah saturated. Because that's why it's called what? Judea now. It's all called Judea. Not kingdom of Judah, kingdom of what? Judea. Judaism. They took all that and so they finger up your butthole and just kept the Jude and just put Judea. So they finger in your booty, they tongue in your booty, everything else up in your booty, and then gave you a new name as a whore. Babylon. Part of that whore. But let's go back though. For some more confirmation before we get to the story. Now that went down right. When they asked a question about Jesus. Find out where that's at. They asked, was Jesus something? Where's it at? It's up here. I believe it's up here. Was Jesus from Ephraim? And somewhere I can't find it. Hold up. Who fought in the Ephraimite War? Alright. So, context, conflict, consequences. So Jews refusing to join the coalition resulted in a what? Syro-Ephraimite war. See that? Mr. Lion, Mr. Big Head, didn't want to come support his brother. Everybody fucked up. Let's get into it. If I want to find out was Jesus seed of Ephraim. But let's get to this though, context. Let's visit this. Context, conflict, consequences. Studia Antrica. Is that Brigham Young? Oh yeah. We've been blessed with Brigham Young too, y'all. We've been blessed with some scholarship. Van D. Rolfson, thank you. Brigham Young, thank you, y'all students. Y'all know once they shut this internet down, a lot of y'all screwed. If y'all don't know the culture, the lifestyle, y'all can't come with us either. That's the code of the streets. If you don't work, you don't eat. You don't get your grind, you can't shine. I love a suntan, so I need y'all to shine. Let's get into this. Context, conflict, consequences. Scholarship, Brigham Young. Alright. We're just gonna jump on some PowerPoints. You know, just I'm a speed reader. I look at power statements. Ephraimite, war, salient, position, history, ancient Israel. Alright. Causes and conditions of war and the role of scattering of Israel. So, obviously Judah's not in this. So that means Judah is not Israel. He's just a son of Jacob. But for the sake of argument, prior to the split, he was part of Israel. He decided to go his own way. Like, that's what lions do, right? They're the lion of the jungle. New York has a concrete jungle. We all have a jungle. So this roaring lion, Judah, goes off on his own. I myself, I'm not a lone wolf. I'm not a wolf at all, but I'm not a Judah. So we understand the nature of a lion or a Judah. But the catalyst for the prophecy scattering of what? Israel. So Judah wasn't scattered because he had his own kingdom. So it had to be Ephraim's king, Manasseh's king, that ruled over what? The 10 tribes who are now scattered, coming from what? The choices made within the war led to the total destruction of Syria, the later fall of what? Israel. So Judah refused. Hold on. Where's that at? Let me see. Let's get that back. So we understand that Judah let's look at this. Oh, snip. Oh, snip. No. There you go. Let's put this together. No, you messed my head right now. The kingdom of Judah refused. Alright? The kingdom of Judah refused. So how is Judah scattered in the prophecy? Is the seed of Judah scattered? Absolutely. Is the seed of the other tribes scattered? Absolutely. But the oneness in mind is scattered. I believe they call it a scatterbrain. I believe they call it a scatterbrain. You're scattered all over the place. You know, you'll be black, green, orange, purple, Christian, Islamist, Muslim, this, that. African American, Afro American, you know what the fuck you're gonna be? You're gonna be Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Jerry Rice, Mike Tyson, your next superhero, stripper, bad bitch, long dong, prostitute of the year. How many times I get banged in the butthole? Award. It's for somebody to see like these people want to be the best at being animalistic. But it makes sense when you come across a word called nihilism and agora. It's a Hindu practice that there is no right or wrong. You can eat motherfuckers, whatever, it don't make a difference. It's part of death, and you're all gonna die. How you die, I don't give a fuck, because I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna die not caring about life. And so this death cult wave from ancient India called Agora, A-G-H-A-R-A, Agora. And it makes sense because it's very ancient, and there's a whole bunch of them. Bunch of dudes, man, running around with their dicks out. Excuse my language. With their penises out. And I'm not saying anything right or wrong. Matter of fact, check this out. Hope YouTube don't cut me off. I mean, what you call it? Found my history. Where's it at? Here you go. This is just real clip, real quick.
Peekaboo, false atmosphere. Welcome to the enchanted forest of host defense. Here, hidden among...
A Buddhist Lama had been practicing in a calm, scenic retreat away from people for several years. After achieving a very high state of consciousness and having many amazing experiences, he went to see his guru.
See?
The guru was joyful, grinned gently and encouraged.
Ah!
A Guide to the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
I didn't mean to press that. So, we have to ask the Pan-Africans. I didn't mean to press that, but we'll go back to the other one too. Speaking of this just popped up with the spirit. When you hear black people holler about how important the Book of the Dead in Egypt, let's compare this. Matter of fact, we're gonna get into this. This is the Sabbath. We prayed it into it, and this is what we're doing. We spend time with the Spirit, Mother Earth, and wisdom, and we want to see what people do with the Spirit, Father, what they do with wisdom, what they do with Mother Earth, and what they do to the soul that affects the bodies of humanity. Let's get a look at it. And this is ancient stuff. This is not white man stuff, y'all. Okay, so you can't blame it on the white man. Only thing you can do is blame it on you for lack of research. It says you look, you shall find, and the door shall be open if you knock. It also said to study to show yourself approved. So let's show ourselves approved. See what they got here. We ain't gonna do the whole 20 minutes though. But it's the Book of the Dead, right?
Introduction. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodoi, is an ancient text that has its origin in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. It is a guide to the intermediate state between...
Now, what is the Dalai Lama? What do the Dalai Lama, right? Tibetan monk, priest, right? And you know he knows about this book too. What will be the odds of Desmond Tutu, who is a Catholic cardinal, who is a LGBT supporter and LGBT himself, who is part of the Hand of Christ and Universal Catholics. I'm not saying anything bad or good, we're just talking about the title, just putting this book together. You know, this is not an attack on anybody. This is just putting some words together. You know, just put some stuff out there for everybody to check out. You know, this is not an attack on anybody. I good or evil, I can't compare to none of y'all. So I'll be the last one to say whose scholarship or whose work, whether it's good or bad, not me. We're just sharing some observation. So the Dalai Lama, Tibet, Book of the Dead, Africa, different religions and stuff in there. The Cardinal, with the religions of the Roman Church and what it means to be a cardinal, and the things that go with being in the Vatican City. How did Britain get their hands in it fucking with Mandela? They look at Tibet, Africa, Britain, and the two niggas in those things is Mandela and Desmond Tutu. They send these two niggas and fly them over to Americas, and that changed the whole aspect of black consciousness. We told you. Because now, everything's about Africa, and Egypt got a Book of the Dead, Tibet got a Book of the Dead, South Book of the Dead, everybody got these Books of the Deads, but it's the black man and the black woman who came to be gods and goddesses who worship the Book of the Dead. That's all. Just not go to bed, right around those, take it nowhere. Just let that marinate and just keep saying it. The Book of the Dead. All my teachings and everything I would need to know is in the Book of the Dead. At some point, you have to realize that you forget that you need a book of life because you breathe, nigga. Some shit just too damn obvious for you rich niggas. I'm just saying, aka Mr. and Mrs. Clowntastic. Let's check out what's in his hands. It's definitely the whole world dead in his hands. He got the little bitty babies in his hands. Let me get me a picture of those hands. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the black mentality in his hands. He got the black mentality in his hands. Yeah, there you go. Bang. He got the whole world in his hands. Let's see what the dead folk is doing. Remember? Because the last ones we was telling them it was called the death cult in America. See, yeah, a lot of y'all folks didn't research American history. What America was called to the first corporations. It was called the Great Melting Pot. The first picture that came to my mind when I heard that when I was young. And that's after watching Mickey Mouse with his magic wand, like Jesus got. Check my profile, you'll see the Jesus with the magic wand and the catacombs. Yeah. Bunch of Jesuses was with magic wands, just like Bar Jesus. So if every Jesus had a magic wand and Bar Jesus, the son of Jesus, had a magic wand, you get 9 times out of 10, the one on the cross had a magic wand and God killed his ass. And so now we're worshiping the dead rising in the minds and the hearts of the ignorant. They're all victims. Let's get it.
Between death and rebirth.
Told you in his hands.
Or recited to someone who is dying or has recently died in order to help them navigate the hallucinations and visions that occur. The Tibetan Book of the Dead offers a unique perspective on the nature of consciousness and the human experience of death and rebirth, teaching that consciousness is not limited to the body and that death is not an end, but rather a transition to a new state of being. The Tibetan Book of the Dead origins can be traced back to the 8th century when the Tibetan king Trisong Detsen directed the Indian Buddhist master Padmasambhava to bring the teachings of Buddhism to Tibet. Padmasambhava, known also as Guru Rinpoche, brought the teachings on the bardos, or the states between death and rebirth, from his teachers in India. The teachings were later compiled into the text known today as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. However, the book is not considered to be Buddhist scripture in the traditional sense. Scriptures are texts that are the words of the Buddha or other enlightened beings, and they are considered to be the ultimate source of Buddhist teachings. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is considered to be terma, or a hidden treasure. Termas are believed to contain teachings that are specifically suited for the Tibetan cultural context. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, however, soon spread well past its Tibetan cultural context and across the globe.
Now, who died and was risen? Who will be called Yeshua Himishaka? He will be called a Buddhist. And like every other Buddhist who die and resurrect. But check this out. This is what got my goat, y'all. Really. And I'm not a Mason. Alright. Oh, I had a brain fart. Oh, yeah. I know what's that. I know what happened to it. I wish I had that other one to play too. Let's go back. Okay, we got that on tap.
A Buddhist Lama
Okay.
had been practicing in a calm, scenic
Now listen to
retreat
this.
away from people for several years.
Agori, that's what it's called.
After achieving a very high state of consciousness and having many amazing experiences, he went to see his guru. The guru was joyful, grinned gently in encouragement, and then instructed him to perform sadhana for another 3 months. The location would be somewhat different this time. A dark cave teeming with snakes, scorpions, and other nocturnal creatures. Normal meals would not be accessible. The actual cave was situated far.
So, who ate grasshoppers? Isn't it ironic that certain stories people have to live or go through this type of Buddhist guru, enlightenment, death, rebirth? Now, this is in other countries where this is their tradition, this is their way of life, where they're in action, whether it be good or bad, to anybody outside of what they've been doing, because it's their tradition. But what behoves me here in America is all y'all just say is a name. Now, if that's not sorcery and magic, I don't know what the fuck is. Because both of these ancient texts and writings and practices say you actually have to have a tradition and learn from another guru or what? A messiah or anointed person amongst that tradition or tribe or countryman or village. But somehow in America, they trained you that being anointed is strictly in this box called, or this package called, the Messianic Age, or the Age of Enlightenment. And so this is what you would call a bizarre path, the left hand of God, when you talk about the Enlightenment. That would be a name. This would be a name for your version of Enlightenment, would be Agori. Because this is a financial thing too. You change that snake into financial, spider into sex, that owl and the music, entertainment, your commercial products. You know, I don't know if y'all noticed, your rap figures have these animals on their shirts. Scorpions, snakes. So let's look at this left hand.
From civilization.
Right.
The disciple arrived there and meditated. By nightfall, a powerful thunderstorm began, and in the pitch black of the night, the wind began to make odd noises.
Stress,
the Lama
rain.
was already having trouble concentrating. He occasionally felt odd animals scurrying across his body. He heard a nearby tiger's blood-curdling cry, and a huge bolt of lightning struck all at once. There it was. He dashed out of the cave and continued to run down the slope until he arrived at his guru's house, where he admitted that he was unable to go on. What one may experience or achieve in a comfortable environment may not be sufficient to withstand the psychological turbulence in an unstable atmosphere.
Missed that. Damn, that was fast. Damn, that was fast. This is a prime example. Oh, praise Yah. Right back on it. What may experience or achieve in comfortable environment may not be sufficient. That's why I saw the video on YouTube and on Facebook. Nigga, why you mad? If I fight you like the man is fighting snakes, if I rob or like the spider and all that, and a loud thunderstorm and the tiger and the bear, and I run, I'm not comfortable. It's not sufficient. Why? Because now it's a psychological turbulence. So when I tell you I'm not black or African American, because I got away from that psychological turbulence. Psychological turbulence.
In an
Matter of fact, Let's put that in there. That chimes in on this. Oh, hold up. I went the wrong way. Oh, shit. Hold up. Alright. We're gonna make this work, though. We're gonna make it work. Alright. We're gonna make it work. Because I just want to get to a point before we really get into it. Psychological turbulence. Okay, now, when Judah, one black man, decided that he wasn't going to support his brother or his brothers, a couple black men, when he's sitting with Idumeans, Turks, Greeks, or whatever at that time, he wanted to chill over with them. So what is this psychological turbulence? What is this psychological turbulence? Let's find out. Let me find out. What is the definition of psychological turbulence? Okay. Experience disproportionate feelings of stress, anger, irritation, or frustration towards certain people or situations. And the key word is certain. Right there. That's the psychological problem right there. Who is this certain people? Amongst black people that makes them want to hurt another person who's in the same fuck shit as them? What is that certain? We call it vainglory. I'm important, and it takes a certain person to fuck with me. I'm the shit, so it takes a certain situation for me to call you. Psychological turbulence of being black and born in America. And then say, I'm black African American. Okay. If that ain't turbulence in itself, you get over 200 years of family members living in this country, born in what they call America, in this shithole called America, in this melting pot called America, and now all of a sudden somebody added extra pepper and Cajun seasoning, and now it's African American. And out of 300 years, only less than 0.5% is even fucking still in Africa. And pick a country. Pick any country in Africa. It's still less than 1%. I want to bet there's more Africans here in America than there is black Americans in Africa. Experience disproportionate feelings towards, oh, it takes a certain nigga to talk to me, girl. whether you bisexual or not. It takes a certain bitch. Wow. Talking about turbulence. Man, fuck that. Man, it takes a bunch of money and going to the da-da-da for the nigga to call me. Yeah, nigga, I'm a busy nigga. So, yeah, I'm in a situation where, I'm the boss, now, and, you know how I got out the mud and off my knuckles, man. So, yeah, I'm in a situation that I'm still emotionally in a turbulence. I'm still frustrated, even with a bunch of money in my pocket. Even with a bunch of money in my pocket, I'm still experiencing a disproportionate. That's heavy. Talk about experiences. Wow. Wow. Here's another word I like. This one right here. Right here. Fluctuating. The last time I remember my heartbeat on that heart machine fluctuating, I was alive. I was going up and down. So we'll say, how do you deal with life's emotions? Fluctuating ain't nothing but another word of saying the rhythm of life, the heartbeat, the emotions. How did my heart's rhythm become so fluctuating towards a situation where I feel like I want to die? Or even use words that says I'm dead. Or do something that says, when my brother need me, Judah, I can't call. I can't come. Let me show y'all this, man.
Stable atmosphere. These are frequently contrasted with Western occultism, cannibalism, sadhana utilizing human skull.
Hold on. Missed it.
The practice you are about to learn is almost never described publicly.
The Tibetan Book of the Dead is considered to be terma, or a hidden treasure.
A Buddhist Lama had been practicing in a calm, scenic retreat away from people for several years. After achieving a very high state of consciousness and having many amazing experiences,
Here we go.
immoral acts amidst which the sadhak tries to become one with reality.
Okay. Let's go to this tradition. The same stuff, though.
The Sanskrit term aghor comes from adding the prefix to ghor. Means negation and ghor meaning intense or deep. Aghor therefore symbolizes a style of life where a person of the Aghori tradition doesn't have intense or deep feelings. It does not distinguish between various emotions and seems to be indifferent to the various stories of life. The Aghori...
Fucked it up. Let's get back to it. Okay, here we go. Praise Yah. Oh, we on time.
between various emotions and seems to be indifferent to the various stories of life. Between various emotions and seems to be indifferent to the various stories of life.
All right. Now, let me see if I can get that off the screen. Get off the screen. Get off the screen. Get off the screen. Get off the screen. Come on, get off the screen. Get off the screen. Get off the screen. wowsy, wowsy, woo woo. Snizzle. How do we do that? There's a way to get off the screen without hopping the play. Anyway, y'all heard it. It says, a style of life where a person of the Goy tradition does not have intense or deep feelings. What would you call that in America? A serial killer. He has no emotions, no feelings about life. Young, old, girl. I'm not saying they're guilty of that. But over 60 years in somebody's family, we'll introduce that to somebody's family, and they mix that into Christianity. Because that's what happens later on in this presentation here. Check it out for yourself. Check it out for yourself, man. Do your own research. I told you we prayed this in. So we understand, and it does not have a distinguish, right? That's what I'm saying. It blocked it out, but it does not distinct. They do not distinguish. All right, check it out.
The Aghoris are believed to be descended from earlier Shaivite ascetic orders. These ascetics considered themselves to be Shiva's cattle and believed Shiva would assist them in freeing themselves from the bondage of the earthly realm.
Oh, hold on. I might better get it.
The path of the Aghor, a path of evolution from earlier Shaivite ascetic orders. The person of the Aghori tradition doesn't have intense or deep feelings. It does not distinguish between various emotions and seems to be indifferent to the various stories of life.
Alright. See, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. See, that's some bullshit. They don't want me to have that. Y'all see that, right? I got something for the ass, though. They think they smart. We'll finish that. Hold on. I'm going to get it.
Aghor therefore symbolizes a style of life where a person of the Aghori tradition doesn't have intense or deep feelings. It does not distinguish between various emotions and seems to be indifferent to the various stories of life. The Aghoris are believed to be descended from earlier Shaivite ascetic orders. These ascetics considered themselves to be Shiva's cattle and believed Shiva would assist them in freeing themselves from the bondage of the earthly realm. The Aghori is the one who follows the path of the Aghor, a path of evolution and spiritual realization that starts from the most animalistic, grossest aspects of the human being and stage after stage evolves into what can be called a liberated soul. They stand for the left-handed route to salvation, or Vampanthi. The Dakshinpanthi, or right-hand path, is its opposite and comprises universal spiritual practices.
This book of the dead, same thing.
Prayer and bhakti that were taken from the early Vedic writings. The Vampanthi, on the other hand, stand for peculiar habits that are sometimes viewed by society as inappropriate and even immoral. Their ceremonies are frequently contrasted with Western occultism, cannibalism, sadhana utilizing human skull, animal sacrifices, alcoholism, and sexual gratification are just a few of the eerie rites and behaviors that an Aghori sadhu is.
Now, cannibalism. Drink my blood. Cannibalism. Eat my body. Cannibalism. Skull of bones. Called Golgotha, the Hill of Bones. And he's drinking out of a skull. The same skull that has a hill of bones that your Lord and Savior, y'all call Jesus, died on. I'm not saying anything good or bad or right or wrong. Same thing with it in Islam when they say Isa. So Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and all these nations, traditions, this is their practice. This is their practice. Now, whether you know it or not, black man and black woman, white man and white woman, you might want to go look at a chessboard a little bit more closer.
Is known for. These aspects also distinguish them from other Hindu sects.
Oh, and last but not least, you can't get this in Greek, Greco-Roman, England, English, Christian, Catholic, further west, French. Even though they visit this place, but nobody's actually really conquered all of India and all of Asia. No one has ever did that. They may have made friendships, pacts, feudalisms, and ruled collectively as one mind. We sure. But to actually say we've conquered all of Asia, not one Caucasian, not Western, nothing has ever conquered all of Asia. Never. So, Alexander the Greek, who is their main man, is never. And speaking of Greek, before we end this live feed, I'm going to read the great dialogue of Plato to you. That's why I had to share this with you, and where the Greeks and the Romans and all your scholars, even your black African American scholars, the best of them, get this information from. This is the source of Western civilization here. Alright? This is the source of the beast, the machine, the inside the belly, the outside the belly, its sinews, its teeth, its organs, its hearts. We know all of it's at. We know how it's built, how it makes it run, the whole nine. So, let's get it.
Because these sadhaks often do not care about anything but the ultimate.
Oh, and overstand, this has everything to do with Syro Ephraim. Because Persia is not too far from India. Assyria is not too far. It's in Asia. So that's what we call Afro-Asiatics. See the locks and, you know, anyway.
They're often disinclined to act as per the conventional spiritual role. In his book, Aghor...
Oh, and for a lot of you guys that don't know this, this is ancient, alright? So this is where dreadlocks come from. Not locks, like I have, but dreadlocks. Especially the ones that quote-unquote stink, they say. Well, this is why it's called dreadlocks, because cultures like this right here, who practice these type of lifestyles and rituals and things of that nature, and that's their thing, certain niggas adopt that shit. They like the way it looks. They may not like the practice, but it likes the way it looks. So it became part of a culture that justifies Judah being shit that it ain't and fucking with shit that it ain't instead of supporting his brother. Trinidadian, Jamaica, dreadlocks. Just look at this dread here.
At the left hand of God, Robert Svoboda mentions a description of a Ghori as described by his guru Vimalananda. An Ghori is beyond the bound of the earthly shackles, something above the elements which shape the universe. He takes a sort of intoxicant and thus gets intoxicated in supreme love, which emanates from the innermost recesses of his heart. It is that which is beyond awareness. He gives off the best part of love, part of the supreme universal love where one experiences with the help of perception all in one and one in all. He merges with his own deity so that he becomes him. That is why he is said to have gone from darkness to divine enlightenment. This is an Aghori.
Let's go back.
so that he becomes him. That is why he is said to have gone from darkness to divine enlightenment. This is an Aghori.
You know I gotta get that right. You know I gotta get it. But it was already set. Now, check this out. This is why he said to have gone from darkness to divine enlightenment. Okay, now. Let this in your head. No. How about this? Let's continue on listening. Remember, this is an Aghori who have gone from darkness to divine enlightenment. Okay? Let's continue.
Dattatreya, a divinity represented as an ascetic with the three heads of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, is believed to be the founder of Aghori tradition. He's
Oh boy. Catholic Church, the dog saints. Greece, Zeus kills the bull. You see it now? If anybody's been watching matter of fact, look. Oh no, that ain't it. But y'all see where we're going with this. We ain't going into that. Look up ancient dogmen. Matter of fact, let me help y'all out with this. Look, let me show y'all. Oh man. Let me see if Facebook still got us rolling. Alright. See if I can find it. Y'all. It's deep. It's what I'm looking for is buried deep into my pages. But I might get lucky and find a dog pic somewhere. We might get lucky. Let's sidetrack. Where's the dog at? I'll show y'all something, man. Y'all be flipped over and crazy, but you'll be like, oh shit, that's crazy. I must be way down here. That's why I tell people, y'all have to pay me a lot of money to go through all my archives and all the stories and information that we have. Really, y'all would have to pay me a lot of money, man. Speaking of Judah, ride on a lion, who's by herself. She's by herself, but we're not on that. Let me find the dog people, man. Where they at? Oh, no, that ain't it. Oh, where they at? Oh, y'all saw the Mary Jane. I'm gonna delete that. Oh, where is it? I got so many things, man. No wonder I ain't got no more room, man. This shit that don't. Oh, this is some bullshit. Oh my gosh. How do you clean this shit out? When I can't find my shit, it's packed with a bunch of fucking doubles. Hold up. I'll show you this real quick. For those who talk about sin. See, only way you could be a sinner if you know what Sargon, grandson, and Aram, as in Aramaic sin, who burned the city of Ibla, who's up the street from Assyria, where Israel, and people spoke what? Aramaic. See? Naram, as in Aram, sin. See? Naram, sin, worship the moon. Alright? So, stop saying this American sinner shit. Sinners worship the moon. And here's the proof. So, 'cause a lot of y'all don't research. Ishtar, not a sacred number 15. Okay? The daughter of sin. Okay? So if you're a sinner and you have a moon on your hat, Islam, you are a sinner. Okay? You see Jesus? Ishtar is the morning and evening star. What is Jesus? The morning star of David. That's a sinner, y'all. Matter of fact, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Because y'all don't believe shit stink. Y'all think it be me. That's probably why I ain't got no damn friends. I know the goddamn words. Ah! Well, let me make sure I get the references in there too for you. Let me show you something. To all you Islam sinners. See? That's why you say Yahweh has a wife. Yeah. He's married to sin. Yahweh is the sun. Sin is the moon god. Ishtar is the morning and evening star, the planet we call Venus. Jesus. He is the God and the God. See, he's the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So that means Jesus is what? Male and female. Of love and what? War. And look at this. In Assyria, she is the goddess of war. And she is represented as woman sitting on Judah, a lion, and with a different weapon in her hands. Now, who did we just see sitting on a mother effing lion? Oh my stars. Let me see. Where would I see that at? Did I just see this nigga sitting on a goddamn... Here you go. Where you at? 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 Did we just see somebody standing on a lion? They moved it. They moved it. They had that, what you call it, thing sitting on a lion. Y'all seen it. So, everybody know, but you niggas. Let's rewind that. The origin.
Dattatreya, a divinity represented as an ascetic with the three heads of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, is believed.
Now, there is a church called Trident, Obama, there was a black Baptist preacher named he died too. The same people put him on a chair and carried him around the stage with a Jewish thing and that big ass Jewish scroll in his arm. Paraded him around like he was a new kid. God killed the shit out that nigga, man. Oh my goodness. Hey, some shit is not funny when people die. But then there's some shit that's just fucking hilarious when people die. And playing with the Most High, perpetrating and letting men raise you up above their head like you did. Oh my goodness. That same Bible, Quran, and religion tell you there's a bunch of niggas that did that and it wasn't working too good for them. And wow. So you had the Trinity, the female aspect, the hidden part, but you have the sun disk, right? You have the fisher of men. You need that trident. Stick a nigga in his ass. So you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and the fisher of men. Hold up. I got to show y'all this. Since I can't find it in my photos. We still on? Yeah, we still on. Alright. That's because I ain't doing too much. Dog-headed men as saints. Ah, perfect. Now, let's slide that over for a minute. Matter of fact, now, let's get Jesus back in here. Let's get Jesus back up in here. Alrighty. Now, Father, the Son, the Trinity, the fisher of men. Alright. This is your universal church. This is your universal religion being reborn right before your very eyes.
Let's
go step by step.
Of Aghori tradition.
And look, of Aghori tradition. Jesus said he's going to sit at the right hand of God, while the rest of you niggas is going to the left. That's fucked up. That reminds me of Gucci. Please don't make me smack you with the left. It's the left. You found out I'm the only nigga left with the left. Don't let the left hand know what you're doing. Please don't let me slap you with the left. So, see the dog, man? They became saints. Look. See the snout? Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Same dogs, baby. See the long snout, long head? See the elongated head? See the elongated head? It's the same fucking breed. Believe it or not, y'all, if y'all research, there is said to be an underground city with these half animals and half humanoids still alive. And for some reason, LGBT and allowing men or these things to be women kind of makes sense when you look at it from here. It takes a lot for this guy to see this half man and half dog dressed like him, unless they related or have some type of, you know what I mean? Somebody got curious right here and said, I wonder what this bitch feel like. And he probably said, let me see what dogs feel like in the booty. And you know what I mean? This is what dogs do, though. Dogs sniff genitals and armpits. If you stink, a dog will run straight to you and smell your toes, all of your... The dog will literally take his nose and lift that skirt up and start smelling your balls and your asshole and subject to lick it. AKA, ha ha ha, licky licky licky. And you have your children. What is son this, see? Jesus, son this. We're just seeing her.
Shown together with 4 dogs
Sundays.
that represent the 4 Vedas. He has in his hands some objects of spiritual meaning. Kamandal, or the water pitcher. Japmala, or the rosary. Damru, or drums. Trishul, or trident. Shankar, or shak.
Now, who has a trident and who has rosary beads? That sounds like the life of a sinner, right? That sounds like the life of a sinner. Because if she has the trident, shell, this and that, and the sun, you know there's a what? Moon there somewhere. Keep it one funky. So we see the worshiping of idols. Not saying they're not being used for their natural abilities, but yet some natural abilities are worshipped. And those who possess them are being worshipped as gods.
Shell and Sudarshan, the disc. Going by historical records, today's modified form of Aghori tradition can be traced to Kinaram, an ascetic who is said to have lived 150 years, dying during the second half of the 18th century. He is...
Now, the 18th century. Who got the cajoons to investigate who he influenced during the 18th century in rewriting the Bible? See, because you have all new brands of versions of the Bible now, right? And so now when you have a universal rewriting and a universal retranslation, it's pretty fascinating how typology, the art of typology, and cast spells in the Book of the Dead in Egypt, the Bible in America, and other quote-unquote esoteric teachings, they call it. I don't know what the fancy name is for, but alright, what the hell? Hold up, yeah, I had to roll me something up. The gods has blessed me with a blunt for the night. Shit! Yo, man. I'm on corporal probation because the police fuck with me on my scooter. And I almost went to prison because of 2 niggas fuck with my scooters, man. I had to take a break real quick, y'all, and roll this up. All I could think of, somebody wants me to go to jail over a fucking scooter. Somebody tried to put me in jail over dogs. Like, how my pastime of minding my business is becoming like potential jail time. That's some weird ass shit, man. Every time I reinvent my shit, man, it's always end up with potential jail time. It's like, what part of sobriety life is this? What part of sobriety life is this? And a lot of people, you don't respect the fact, people who relapse on drugs and alcohol and, you know, just shit that they used to do. Because when they do better, y'all let shit go that reminds them of what they conquered. You'll let your little brother or your little sister or your ex-girlfriend, or that's your cousin, fuck a dude over, man, knowing she dead fucking wrong. Or he dead fucking wrong. But let's get back to this though. I'll roll it up. Good looking OG. 18th century.
It's considered as an incarnation of Shiva, an embodiment of the philosophy and way of life. While undergoing severe sadhana in the Girnar mountains of Gujarat, he had a vision of Lord Dattatreya and attained divine wisdom. Baba Kinaram established an ashram in Varanasi and spread the way of a ghor. He opposed the tyranny of local rulers.
So you can't say no. Hold on. Let's get that back there. Can't say no. Ain't no darkies.
Baba Kinaram established an ashram in
like
Varanasi
Egypt.
and spread
See,
the
I see
way
people be
of
stuck
a
on
ghor.
Egypt.
He
They don't never go
opposed the
east. See the sisters? Bang. That ain't his sister. She dark. That ain't his sister, or because it ain't in Africa. You know, with the small nose and a pushed in face, with all that bone stuck in your ass and shit. If you ain't take the bones out your ass, you ain't black. I guess, I don't know. But according to this dark royalty, and as usual, the darkies always keep one of them around. That's just part of the thing. Left hand, right?
Tyranny of local rulers and taught people to rise above caste, creed, and sectarian views. A precise historical map of the Aghori Sadhus is challenging to create. The scant information is derived from tales from the 8th.
Now, right there. Now let's go to Christianity. 1700s, right? They've already dibbled and dabbled with this institution. They've already mixed this in there. How we know? Because you can see the wig right here. The aristocrats. The wig right there. See, that might be Benjamin Franklin, maybe. Well, he was dead probably, but you see the hat. And you see the Mason. And you see King George. So the King George or the King James or King Gregory or King any motherfucker from who? 18th century Britain should put our left hand of God in it too. Let's continue.
18th century in Britain and sources from medieval Persia. In addition,
Oh, and medieval Persia. So, Islam, Arabs, the Kabbalah stone, or the Kabbalah itself, or the stone that fell out of the sky, fell from the sky like Venus, or the same stone that fell out of the sky, or the star that fell out of the sky in Jesus' time. In fact, there's a stone that fell out of the sky that Enoch saw that fell to the earth as well, and it was Satan. So every so many thousands of years, this thing falls out the sky. But this year, there was a comet that was a green that went across the sky, which confirms the green dragon is long dragon tail. Like Nibiru is the red dragon with its tail coming. And there's going to be a darkness with its tail coming. And it's going to be a gold, maybe the sun or some type of light when it comes. Don't quote me. But look at the long fingernails. Look at the dreadlocks. Look at the long toenails. This is where the black man or black woman get this shit from. And, hey, you ain't got to believe me.
their philosophy of life occasionally crosses
You ain't gotta
over
believe me.
into other
You ain't got to.
mystical
Research it.
systems, borrowing some of their meditational practices and fusing them with others. Some
What did he say? Meditation practices. Why? Right? The man. Meditation practices. X. The woman. So they go the Baphomet thing. The goat head with the what? The same thing with the cow, white cow. White cow head as what? Male and female. Let's keep it going. Remember this is Syria Empire, the scattering of Israel, and Judah not saving his brothers, but and end up in captivity, being captive himself. Judah never gets scattered for real. He went into captivity. To be scattered is to run away. So they didn't catch all of Israel. They've been scattered. Judah got his ass caught. So no, Judah, we didn't get caught with you, nigga. He told on you. Now, Judah's that nigga that got caught. He knew the plan. He knew he would. Judah's that nigga, right? I'm telling you, anybody that's claiming Judah, them is them niggas that tell you we're gonna go do a crime, right? We gonna go do that crime, and they be talking that shit. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm about that. I'm loyal. Yeah, and then get caught and tell on everybody. Cause that's what they did. Read the book of Hosea. He said, Judah, I'm pissed off at you, man. You ain't help your brother. You ain't do shit for you brothers. Straight up. Read it, y'all. Nobody reads that shit. That's why I know people be cherry picking all that extra bullshit. Because if the Bible is true, then y'all would say the same shit I'm saying. And y'all would see it in everyday life like it was then. Nothing new under the sun, right? Y'all keep quoting Ecclesiasticals and Proverbs and shit. Let's get to the LGBT, the left hand of God.
and fusing them with others.
Now you see that chakra dip. Now everybody's on the 7 chakras. I'm not saying anything bad or good about young Pharaoh or anybody else, but I got to be careful, man. Let's go.
Some Aghoris have also had gurus who practice Islam or other religions.
Oh! Ooh! The Tibetan Book of the Death of the Dead is mixed with Allah. That's why people are thinking Allah and Ilah mixed up, like Yah and Yahweh mixed up, because of the blending and the mixing, making a chaotic noise with the left and the right hand, smashing you motherfuckers to death. This God is crushing y'all with the left and the right hand of glory. This is living death. He don't smoke crack. He don't drink. Well, yes, he do. They just drink wine. But that's it, though. Or I think I'm in error. Yeah, they get high. They fucked up. My fault. But this is Black America, for real, for real. If you really start looking at people, that's what all the makeup for. That's makeup. Everybody want to look white. You want to look like some motherfucking ghost. Like ash. Death. See, because to look white is really death. You don't have no blood in you, no red. Let's get it.
Despite this,
Now, you see all them dicks, ladies? Now, one would ask himself, you don't see not one so-called black man there, but yet it's the black man and the black woman that practice this religion the most. You act white, you put on white shit, you put their hair in your hair, everything, and you practice death. And your rap music is death. And your sex music, I'm going to kill you after we have sex. Whether it's financially, your character, because I'm upset with you. You won't do what I tell you to do. Or because I bought you a car or I bought you a pair of socks. Some shit being in a relationship you're supposed to fucking do is buy shit for each other. But no, it's becoming a weapon. In a relationship, you can't buy shit for a motherfucker without somebody using that shit to hit you in your motherfucking head with it. Literally, financially, wherever, whatever it is, for some reason, y'all practice this shit. The left hand of God. Let's get it.
there have been times when this specific family of
it's gonna hit y'all.
servers has been particularly numerous, representing an old custom.
Philosophy.
Irrespective of what one believes in, death is certain, and it is indeed the greatest miracle of nature or Maya that we live most of our life unmindful of this fact. People go around knowing this fact in theory, but in practice, they live like death will not touch them. And a Ghori tries to live with dispassion towards life by ensuring that he constantly remembers the inevitable end. The mind then instead seeks that which is changeless and permanent. This indeed inspires their practices. The meditation on the dead body, cannibalism, and other such extreme rituals are in a way symbolic reminders of death and its nature. Remaining...
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let's get back to the storyline. Now, they said Islam, Assyria, and we know that in the Bible there was a war. And how we know it's through a war, because he pushed back into Aram, Syria, or where Nimram sinned. Remember, you put the N, Naram, and put the S-I-N, Syria. Where's Syria? Arabs, Islam, where they practice what? Agora. That's why it's okay to blow yourself up. It's okay to kill people with no remorse. That's okay. You say, Ilallah Rakba. and take a sword and just cut people's heads off. It's okay because, for the woman to be dug in a hole and hitting her head with a rock like some animal. It's okay for black on black crime. It's okay to rob for lack of creativity. All things is beautiful. This ancient practice, Babylonian practice, is right now. It's right now. Right the fuck now. And Black America, you are the biggest supporters of it. That's why the prophecy says, ain't nobody gonna fucking want you. Devils want motherfuckers that got their own shit. Demons want to use people who naturally, choose not to use their own shit but can manipulate you. The Most High Yah is your portion. Life is your portion. And y'all reject life for the pleasures of death. It's crazy when people will say, when you really need me, call me. And when you do, because the Spirit tells you, if you don't call this person or group or whatever, it ain't going to be good for you. So it ain't gonna be, this is not a good time to play, I got this tonight. This is not one of them nights, son. And so I had to make a call to somebody, man. And I really had to lighten to their ass, like, if I didn't have to call you, I would not call anybody. The Most High told me, I didn't get a chance to tell him that the Most High told me to call him. Because I had got a little twitch, like, it's a voice twitch. I mean, I can't explain it, but I know what it is. And I was like, alright. And so I hate the fact that, man, I don't like talking to people. It's like this. Shit come up my mouth, best believe it's justified. Because I don't want nobody saying no fly shit to me. And I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's been working in my life. And here, you always complaining in your life. I'm cool. A motherfucker that complain in their life all the time and don't want no solutions. And say, well, cause the money, this is why I stay, or cause the hers, why I stay. I can't fuck with you too long. Because after that person pretend like it's okay, that's a trap. Speaking of traps. So now, this sin trap. They told you everything but this agori religion spiritual hook that splinters off into, like they said, a trident. And this hook has I don't know if any of y'all went fishing and they got that hook, they got 3 hooks on one, and then they got 4 hooks on one that represents the 4 corners of the earth. So if you hook the whole planet and get the seed of none or the fish to bite on our hooks was what? Temptation. Temptation is a hook in the sea of people. I'm going through some man shit right now, right? So I knew the hook to get if I really wanted something. But I don't want to be bait, if that makes sense. Sometimes you go out there with a hook, you end up being bait on your own hook. I'm straight. So now we got the crisis book. What's the problem here? Arameans, like what? Idumeans, whom he pushed back into Aram, Syria, names, okay. In a Western campaign, he reached what? The Mediterranean Sea. So who's there? Judah. So that confirms by location, Mediterranean Sea, that Judah said, fuck you. And during this time, there was no Bible written. Or, okay, here go Biblos. And there's a prophecy about what? How rich Tyre was in Sidon and the Mediterranean Sea, next to Judah, who become Idumeans and Canaanites. He got captured. He ain't scattered and run nowhere. Because how can you scatter Judah if he's just one person or one tribe? So Judah is not a lost tribe. So let's break that ignorance right there. Okay? I am your brother's keeper. That's why I don't throw it up in y'all face. I'd rather just show y'all. Alright? Recognizing the danger. Shalamander, so there's another resource. Check him out. Here's a chronicle order. Check that out. And here's a place. Kakar or Kakara. Alright? And also says here, I destroyed, tore down, and burned down Kakar, his royal residence. He brought it along to help him. Okay? He came heavy. Ancient Iraq, New York, Penguin Books, where to find it. Boom. Syro-Ephraimite War. Alright, let's not forget that. So the Arabs, not Ishmael. See what I'm saying when I say Ya Allah? Ishmael know Allah is the same as Ya Allah. That brings the seed of Abraham to one point. To start a new settlement somewhere on this planet. Because our retribution, our reparations is through the Most High. Not through the left hand of these gods or the right hand of these gods. Traditional enemies such as Ahab of Israel and Ben-Hadad of Syria have become allies to resist what? The Assyrians. So Ahab, not Ahaz, of Israel, King Ahab was an Ephraimite. So this is Ephraim and Ben-Hadad. Judah's not there. And Ephraim is the king of 10 tribes. Who what? Did get captured. Some got captured. But they were scattered. How? Because Syria and them became allies. So of course they let them what? Chill out. Right? As long as they mix and let some folks go to war. Because in order to be allies, we got to mix blood to replenish our babies. That is the nature of war or feudalism. The modern scholar, Arani, okay, he says, he contends that Judah probably also joined in this against the Syrians, though they were not mentioned in the monolith. So, if there was not mentioned in the monolith, then this guy and other folks might want to stop putting Judah, Jesus, with the kingdom of Israel. Judah's never been a king of Israel. He's always been a king of his own castle. And that's his jealousy. And he thought by fucking with Edom and some of the disgruntled cousins of Jacob and Esau that they could form a group to take over Israel, and it backfired. Read the prophecy of Hosea. When you read Hosea when it says not my children but then can become my children, now you understand why you are not my children. Between Judah and Ephraim, you motherfuckers, man. Judah and Manasseh, you motherfuckers. This, I want to be king like everybody else. Y'all forgot about Prophet Samuel. It hurts the prophets and God that you want to be kings and queens like everybody else. And you still do it in 2023. And what's crazy is everybody that wanted to be king and queen are getting murdered right in front of your fucking eyes. This is how ignorant you niggas is, man. I got to put this on. Big ups to Gucci and his record label. I get to play that. I got to play it, y'all. I got to. I'm sorry, I got to. I got to play a little clip. I got to. Where's that shit at, man? Where's that shit, Gooch? I like beats, man, but hey, some shit, man, you gotta let it rock. Oh, I can't find it. I'll listen to this real quick then. No, I don't want to play, what's this? Let's check them out. Block player, get my paper with Kill Figure. Check them out. Subscribe to Smooth Sounds. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Subscribe to Smooth Sounds. Get my paper with Kill Figure. Get my paper with Kill Figure. Block player. Smooth Sounds. Get down. Oh, wow. Happy Sabbath. Happy Abbas Day. Big up to Bar Abbas, son of the father, revolutionary. To the modern Maccabees, big ups. To the RGBs, big ups. To all the Afro-Asiatics, man, big ups. To all the sisters, big ups. Big ups. OG, big ups. To the hood, big ups. Ah, what's good? Big ups. Get up, big ups. Get my paper with Kill Figure, Block Player, Smooth Sounds. Like, share, subscribe, look live. That's why we call dapperlicious.com. That's what we call dapperlicious.com. Dapperlicious.com. On the muscle, going strong. Dapperlicious.com. Dapperlicious. Had to do a quick music break, y'all. Had to do some, you know what I mean? Check him out, Smooth Sounds. Check out his product. You know, big ups, man, for providing that beat. Man, I might, if with y'all permission, man, I might have to use that, man. If that's okay with you guys. See the SoundCloud dip. You know, man, it's when we get these downloads, man, we be needing this little bit of music, man. Cause this shit's crazy. Cause it's the truth. Stop trying to squeeze Jesus, Judah into the Syro Ephraimite crisis that's in the Bible. And when we spoke Aramaic, when Hosea, or your next call, Jesus spoke Aramaic. All of a sudden, Hebrew, Greek, blah, 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 blah. Now modern Hebrew, Yiddish. Hebrew is not a language. Hebrew is a way of life. Aram is the language. Oh, my, and they, hey, look, what's so funny? They call themselves biblical scholars. I speak Hebrew. How? Abraham didn't speak Hebrew. He lived Hebrew. He spoke Aramaic. Chaldean. God damn it. Golly, I tell you. Hey, Black Jesus, I'll put you on friend, man, for that particular reason. To all the Black Jesuses, thank you for being the left hand of God. Oh man, I got to put that on there, man. Hold up, y'all. We gotta get another one, man. One more. Don't make me smack you with the left, Gooch. Tell them, Gooch. Don't make me smack you with the left. The left. That's the shit too, man. Where you at, Gooch? Where you at, Gooch? Let me turn that off. You're my favorite. Where you at, Gooch? See y'all. Okay, where you at? Where you at? Alright, here we go. We gotta get him in there. There you go. The left. 3 minutes, y'all. Big Gooch, Big Goo Up. YouTube man, subscriber, check it out. Listen to smarturl.it/Gucci Watttober. We show more, cause that's what they're gonna respect us, right? Check that out, right? Check out.
Please don't make me slap you with the left. You a fake, so I'm gon' dap you with the left. I feel like I'm the last real nigga left. It's like I'm on an island by myself. Please don't make me slap you with the left. You a fake, so I'm gon' dap you with the left. I feel like I'm the last real nigga left. It's like I'm on an island by myself. God, please protect me if this shit gon' work. Cause I can cook a kilo by my goddamn self. In the kitchen, roll a whippin' with the left. I don't know Batman, but I know who got the mouth. I feel like I'm a woman BMF. Cause I can lock a trap down by myself. You ain't no Gucci to go broke, then hold your breath. This shit ain't cut is raw, this shit gon' send itself. But don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. My homeboys call the cops on me and I ain't even tripping. But how you call yourself a G and hang around snitches? See niggas going left like crazy, acting like bitches. Please don't let me slap you with the left. You a fake, so I'm gon' dap you with the left. I feel like I'm the last real nigga.
Hey, I had to play that, y'all. I had to play that, man. I had to. The left hand of God, man. Smack you with the left hand of God, boy. I see. I can't even take a picture. That nigga thought, the nigga said, was so icy, he can't even take a picture. Look what this left hand of God did, man. Put Jesus, Judah, in some shit that they refuse to get their hands dirty. Cause remember, Jesus don't fight. He's a peaceful guy, you know. You can get kicked in the ass 15 times and it's cool. But over here, there's a crisis, nigga. Over here in La La Land, it's all good. Some cute Hail Marys, rub some beads, a few shells around your neck and your hair, put some shells in your locks, call yourself Africa and shit. And you go to Africa, you eat grass, because some place in Africa you can't go unless you pray to Jesus and eat grass and shit. And he's subject to get murdered. You can't be fucking with Africa's Jesus. Nigga, you ain't come over here with not near goat, chicken. But fuck, we don't want no dollar. We want chicken, bitch. Where's the chicken, bitch? In the name of Jesus, nigga, I'm gonna baptize you with this motherfucking ram skull if you don't conjure up a fucking cow out your pee hole. He said, man, I got 400. He said, we need cow, nigga. We need lamb and a goat. I'll see you next week. Next week come, you be tied up. You know, I told you we needed to sacrifice. We said, fuck it. We sacrifice you to the left hand of God. We try to give you the right hand of God, and you played with us. Come over to our country fucking with us so we can send you the left hand of God so y'all know you the sacrifice. Remember we said this is less than 1% of Americans in Africa for real. Because if it wasn't, a whole bunch of motherfuckers would be there. New York be empty. Stop playing. All of Haiti would not be in motherfucking New York and what you call it, Texas. They'd be dead the other side. Stop playing, y'all. So, and the death of Ahab, the line between Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and the hate Ahab by the marriage of Jehoshaphat's son Ahab's daughter likely occurred before the period of peace. Ahab requests Jehoshaphat against the Syrians, not knowing the exact dates possible. Alright, so there we go. We're talking about the babies, right? So Judah and Israel, because they still got the same father, so got the same Cool. Don't get your daughters outside of our people, right? That's just cool. And thou art my people, or is thou thy people? So that confirms what I said, right? But you niggas can't see that today. And we will be the in war. So through the marriage of the daughters of who? The king of Judah and the king of Israel. Alright? That in the time of war, see? Not rule as Judah's the king of everybody. Fuck no. That ain't happening. But your sons and our daughters in the time of war would breed. Shall we die, motherfucker? You idiot. And though Ahab died in the campaign, which is at war, Jehoshaphat continued his policy of cooperation with Israel through the reign of Ahab's successors, Jehoram and Ahaziah. With their union and meaningful proceeding for coalition against outside forces had been set. Look. This is our history. Studia Antiquia, Syro-Ephraimite crisis in the Bible. That is our dilemma right now. Not knowing this story, this historical event in the Hebrew Muslims culture and language that we can enjoy in English. It's still our language. Especially when the bigger picture tells us that we are the original Adam. And this is just really baby talk right here. This is baby talk. This is a baby conversation. This is not a global man conversation. This is really baby talk. The global part is understanding when the man is the custodian of the whole planet, then this union and meaningful proceeding for a coalition against outside forces by nature is already set before man was born. That's why it says what? How can you love what you can't see? How can you say you love what you can't see, but don't be there for what you can see? That's not a holy fucking moment. It's hard to have holy moments when everybody's being rewarded for unholy moments, man. So no, you're not gonna keep talking to us and think we ain't gonna say shit like we some bitches or something. And I think I speak for a lot of people who go to, without any details, certain group therapies, whatever. Not because it's so much needed, but sometimes it's for confirmation of people out in the world versus people who are in certain group therapies. It's not just about who's running it, because the one who's running it 9 times out of 10 is the one who's part of the outside group anyway. And what I mean by group therapy could be something like doing a live right now. This live thing, this is my group therapy. Y'all are my, they use NA and AA groups and all that. Y'all my therapists, man. Everybody on the planet is my therapist. Why? Because I ain't no different than you motherfuckers. I'm no different than not one person on this fucking planet. That's what I'm comfortable at. I come to the acceptance. And every time I try to be like all of you, this is where my turbulence. What was that word again? Psychological turbulence, man. Where I can only be around certain people doing certain things, and now my emotion is self-inflicted, called depression. And my post-traumatic stress syndrome is an infliction continuously and perpetuated because I refuse to say, hey, hold up. Hold the fuck up. Even though we all perfect, but somebody done fucked up the program here. I'm on the computer too much. And every time somebody update a Windows program, there's always a fucking glitch. That's why you get beta, this, metaverse. Somebody always got some fly shit they want to which is cool. But nonetheless, we all got some fly shit. And we chase that paper money because we like fly paper. Godly. Let's get another page. See more confirmation. So we understand as Syrians continue the campaigns, Israel and many other kingdoms that had opposed them at Karkar, the death of Jeroboam, king of Israel. Alright. Within Jeroboam, Zechariah was killed by Shulem, who was in turn murdered by Mahana. See, let's look at this. Now, you have to ask yourself, federal government, and those who's monitoring our live videos, and brothers and sisters, I'm not saying I'm promoting, I'm not saying I'm for or against, or just planting some seeds of true unity for real. Nobody has to die. Nothing really has to change too much other than just leave us alone. But if you notice this so-called black man and black woman and the new white black woman and the new white black man and the new black white woman and the new black white man. This is something that y'all have never done. But this is mainly to the so-called black African American. This dude got killed this king get killed. This is why right here they have no problem Assyrian Jewite victory. They have no problem with black on black. That's how. See, as long as Judah is killing Israel, as long as Israel is mixing with Assyrians and everybody's mixing with the fuck shit, welcome to America. Let's continue, because Syria and Yura. You got Syria, but you got Assyria. That's what I see. Look, the Moors. Look. What's up, Moabite? See, when I told my man, Godfrey, I got something from some dude who is a Moor, blah, 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 blah. I'm getting all this shit that I know only the Moors get into. And I said, I know why Moors come around, man. They hate. It's in them. They're Masons. They're part of Judah's Masonhood. They're part of the Solomon Kingdom, Harab Biff, Kabbalah, Black Jew, Jewish, Khazar, feudalism. Let me be king in the minds of everybody, and I'll help you keep Israel scattered. In fact, I will hunt Israel down like the lion that I am, and I will expose them. They said, well, how are you going to expose them, Judah? I'll sell them drugs. Y'all give me the gifts and the magic like y'all did Solomon, and we'll build a spiritual temple to what? Lead the sheep in. How we know? Because Jonas, the true Messiah, said, tend my sheep. And he said, fuck you, Judah, Moab. The real Messiah, which I call Jesus, told Peter. That's why he's the rock of the church. Feed my sheep. He said, no, fuck you. Now, if anybody did the real research, Jonah and Peter are father and son. That's why in Malachi chapter 9, he says the father and his son better get together. This father and son got together and said, fuck feeding God's sheep. Now, here's the funny, what is the paradigm shift? Matrix. Pump your brakes. Those are listening. Picture this. What if Peter and Jonah really is telling people, fuck you, Jesus, you're a magician. I'm not feeding your sheep, nigga. So he changed their names. Since you don't want to feed my sheep, I'll use your name to feed my sheep. That's a bad motherfucker. Look, check this out. Rick Ross did that shit. That's who did that shit. Rick Ross. Took another nigga's name and did something else with it. I'm not saying right or wrong, good or bad. This, that, or indifferent. Rick Ross did that same shit. You take a nigga's name for yourself and you fuck it over. It's called ID theft. telling you, y'all stick around long enough, man. Y'all hear the spirit come out. So yeah. So here we go. Israel, the Hebrew Muslims, had to battle against who? The Moors, Zion's temple. But since we're in modern times, we're saying, look, children of Lot, we don't have to kill each other. Let's respect each other's indifference. Morocco, Spain, guys that civilized the wild men. Right? Y'all are civilizers, right? Because Abraham was a civilizer, so it would be natural for Lot to be a civilizer for the children of his seed. So Abraham has his portion. Moab, Lot, amen. You got your portion. But you, like Judah, what's up with that shit? Y'all both crossed over. I mean, both our fathers crossed over, Abraham and Lot, as Hebrews. We both spoke Aramaic. Now you get into this Mason, I'm this shit on your square, stars, moons, and 5%ers, half percenters, Islam. Y'all just fuck, goddamn. And you see the books, Kings. So we're not taking anything off anybody. And then to the joint venture built ships with what? And here go the ships. So you wasn't the only niggas that came over here to North America or a Mexican. So it would behoove me not to go find out what was this continent called in ancient Aramaic. In ancient Syrian, what did they call this? What did they call the west, the eastern, to their far east, not west, to the far east? What did they name shit? That Cali and Khalifa are synonymous. California, or California, because what? Ahaz, Israel, we came in those waters. How come we were scattered, not captured, motherfuckers? Only people that say we're lost is the ones who's trying to kill us. You hear that? Let the Spirit talk to you. Those that's been hearing that ringing and getting that feeling, like, yeah. People who say that you're looking for the lost tribe, them was the ones that saying, damn, I can't find these niggas. The lost. You ever chased after somebody and you lose them? Yeah, you lost them. So you can't get paid. So in a good old nigga spiritual version, up to date, run, nigga, run. Stay lost. Stay lost. The Most High will bring us together. But for the most part, in the midst of our scattering, start putting bullseyes on each other's backs in scholarship, and do's and don'ts and have-nots. Everybody's disguise is different. Everybody's play and being the acid in the belly of the system. Let's go. More Syrian. Can we skip it? And who's what? Gilead. And Gilead and Judah only had a person who was a governor. So we had a family member of Judah and Gilead as a governor. And Isaiah's warning to Ahaz, he explains Syria and Israel's intention. Let us go up against, Judah and vex it. Let us make a breach thus for us and set king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabeel. See? let us go up against Judah. Now, isn't that familiar when Jesus says the devil cannot fight his own house? A devil can't cast out a devil. So why would Israel's kingdom, why would Judah, if he's king of Israel, fight his own kingdom? That doesn't make sense. If Judah is supposed to be the king of all of Israel, why is he going against his own kingdom? Someone say, well, a split. Okay, then obviously he's captured, and the ones that split from his dumb ass are scattered. And vex it and let us make a breach there for us and set a king. See, fuck Judah. We're going to put our king there, Israel said. Who's that? From Ephraim and Manasseh. Because that's the prophecy. So now, coalition, Rezin, Peleg, attack northern Judah. That sounds like two kingdoms at war. How is Jesus the king of Israel? If y'all don't stop wearing that carpet out, man, and David be the king, it's over, man. That kept me remind me of that song by Diana Ross. Upside down, boy, you turn me inside out, round, round. Wherefore, Lord, has God delivered him into the hand of the king of Syria. And they smote him and carried away a great multitude of them captives and brought them to Damascus. And he who also delivered into the land of the king of, he also was delivered into the hand of the king of Israel. Is Judah not pissed? When I said banging on Judah and Israel, now y'all see why.